Let's walk down here and let me show you about. Now, if you go to school, you go to college, college like university, and you study agriculture and you pay big money and go in debt to pay it back, they'll tell you that wood products tie up nitrogen and make your soil acidic.
Yeah.
That's what you're told in school. I want you to help me discover the nitrogen type I'm having here. I need help because nitrogen makes things green,
Yeah.
and I just don't see anything getting any greener than that.
I know, that's green.
That's like that's way better than the stuff that they're doing with Roundup. I mean, not Roundup, but Miracle Grow. It's really all the same, but I'm just telling you, nitrogen type is ridiculous. Look how green it is. And let's talk about the pH, the acid. This is really cool. Let's walk down here. Does anybody grow hydrangeas?
I do. I want it.
You know hydrangea plants? If the soil is acid, the flower is blue. If the soil is alkaline, the flower is pink. And you can adjust that. You can change them every year by adjusting. I want you to notice this one, that you have both pink and blue flowers at the same time. You know what that indicates?
Perfect.
7.0 perfect centered pH.
Yeah.
And they're telling me I have a nitrogen tie-up in wood chips, and I have an acid soil. I'm just saying, the demonstration is just so loud in my face, like, come on, man, get real. And I'll show you the benefit of 7.0. We're going to get over it. I'm going to show you where I'm growing lavender, which is a plant that is growing wants an alkaline soil, and I'm growing blueberries right next to it. We're talking side by side. They're touching one another, and they're both thriving, and blueberries want acid. And I love nature. When it's done right, you don't have to adjust anything.
Yeah.
Because 7.0 is center, and everybody's happy there. It's just so fun when you start experiencing the design of this creator who didn't miss anything, who knows what he's doing, who comes from a place of all wisdom, all knowledge, and it's so fun to work with him because it's so easy. No adjustments, no arranging anything, just plant where you want and stuff grows, and just get out of its way because it's going to grow well, and it doesn't need help. Are you familiar with the ginkgo tree? The ginkgo tree is probably the oldest tree that exists. It's been around from like forever. And this is one right here. I love the foliage. It's like a maidenhair fern. Look how beautiful that foliage is. You notice this ginkgos grow very slowly. They're very, very slow growing trees. You notice it's a multi-leader. There's three trees coming out of the ground. When I first planted this here, it was a single leader. And the power to my house failed. A rock must have nicked the wire, and so the utility company had to come in and fix it. In doing so, they killed my tree.
Oh.
My ginkgo tree just was dead. But out of the ground came these little suckers. So I saved 3, and today I have a far nicer tree than I would have originally with a single leader.
Wow.
I so love the Creator. He is so about redemption. Everything in nature is showing that it all comes back, and usually better than it started out. Because it's just, he's so good. I'm looking for someone I talked to on the phone from Norway.
I'm here.
All right.
Just arrived.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
I have one asparagus spear, and it's going to be for you because you've come the longest.
I have come the farthest.
I
win.
I want you. My asparagus. I mean, all my food is like over the top. And my asparagus has been amazing to have people sample. I have never had anyone. I make a statement. You have never in your life ever had asparagus like this, and I've never had anyone ever challenge me. And you're going to get to be expressive for the rest of them because I want them to understand what you're eating because it's just so amazing. Welcome. I'm so glad you came.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us. Sorry we're late.
It's okay. I mean, you came a long way.
The ferry.
Really.
The ferry caught us off guard.
It's okay. You're here. This place we're walking on for years was a grass area. And the wintertime, my wife's a midwife, and women come here for their prenatals. And during the wintertime, they come across this stuff, but you're all wet. And they get all muddy, just a real mess. And then I have to try to level it all out and mow and weed it. And I says, you know, I'm done with that. So I put it all in wood chips.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, as people drive on this, it's never going to compact.
Mm-hmm.
And if somewhere down the road there's a need for food, I can create one incredible community garden right here. And while these wood chips are sitting here, the soil underneath is in a constant upgrade. It's getting richer and richer, just waiting for someone to want to plant it in. It's just, I'm telling you, nature is so amazing, so beautiful.
Could you explain to me when you began with the grass that way, what did you put first? You know, did you put cardboard to do the?
No.
Did you try the
You
lasagna method?
see this space up here we're approaching where the tree is?
Yeah, the needles.
That was grass all the way to the field,
Yeah.
to that fence.
Right.
And so I'm asking the Creator, I says, now I've been told that I have to dig this grass. I want to plant some cherry trees and have a garden here, but I've been told I got to dig the grass out. And I noticed you don't use shovels. You know, the Creator doesn't use shovels.
Yeah.
And I says, so how would you approach this? Oh, he says, just cover the wood chips. Just put wood chips over the grass. So I put it 8 inches deep.
8 inches.
8 inches. I came back in the spring. All the grass is dead, totally full of worms, incredible, beautiful black soil. And I've had that tree and this garden for 17 years now.
Wow.
I'm telling you, he's made it so easy. And I tell people honestly, I used to work so hard to fail, it was pathetic. And here's the insanity of taking out the grass. The grass is a green, organic material. It's like benefit. Why are you removing it? It's as stupid as taking money out of the bank. I'm being real. And here we're out doing all this totally counterproductive stuff, working hard to do it, not getting just cover.
But if you want to speed up the process.
So paper,
Yeah.
when it gets wet, lays tight to the ground, will suffocate,
Yeah.
and things without water and light die.
Yeah.
So that speeds it up.
Okay.
But
And-
8 inches or more
Yeah.
do the same thing. In a garden space, 8 inches are a little bit much to plant little seeds in, so 4 inches is a better thickness, and the paper is quite helpful.
Do you add any blood meal or
No.
or horse poop? Or,
Listen to me. Did you hear what I told you?
okay.
If you don't see the example in nature,
Yeah.
rest assured you're being lied to, and it's usually connected to something you have to buy. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
See, no one's putting down fertilizer in nature. And you look at these trees, you see how green they are, decade after decade, century after century, and no one's fertilizing? Excuse me? Really? I'm just telling you, that material's this. And you look at my trees, how green they are. It works quite well, and it doesn't need help. In nature, where horse manure shows up, it's a pile here and one over there. It's not concentrated. It's really spread out. You know?
Yeah.
So I didn't say this, but I want questions. So if a question comes up, please ask, because it's not interruption, and usually they're really beneficial, and it just opens up understanding to get you free. Because you've been lied to a long time, and you're going to have to do some erasure up here,
Yeah.
get things cleaned up, because you're coming from a lot of wrong premises, and it's not your fault. You just got lied to. But I want to show you today that the truth will set you free. Truth sets you free. It's awesome.
Because we have the similar soil, we have a similar climate right now in Oslo, and I see none of my neighbors are gardening at all.
Because
And
it's
they're not
hard.
growing
It's a lot of work, and they're tired. I'm being honest.
No, they work very short hours. No, they're not that tired. They're just
But they're tired of gardening because it's hard. No one wants to do this because it's just labor intensive. As soon as you till your ground, what's the first thing that happens?
Weeds come up.
You know why?
Disturbance.
No. Nature is connected to the Father. It knows the ground is not safe uncovered. And it's trying to create a cover to hold the ground in place. Exposed dirt will blow and wash away, and nature knows that, and they're trying to put a cover back to keep it in place. I'm just telling you, man, if you pay attention, all of nature is getting it, knows how to operate. And it's only us that doesn't. And we frustrate them because, what's up with that? Why did they do that? And then what happens when you till the soil? You have sterile soil. You know what's in the soil? what's in the soil? Thousands of living organisms are in the soil under here.
Thousands of what?
Living organisms. We see worms are the biggest, but there's mycelium, there's fungus, there's bacteria, there's all kinds of incredible life forms. All have their homes, all have their babies there, and when you till, you kill them all. You kill every living one. And now you have sterile, you used to have a living environment, now you have a sterile one. And you think that's good? I'm just telling you, if we think what we're doing and look at the effect, it's insanity. It's like if you wanted to destroy your place, you couldn't be any more effective than, you couldn't do it better than by tilling. And we work and we labor to do that. I'm just telling you, it's stupid. And it just shows how we're trained not to think. And this is after everybody drives on it. Are you noticing the bounce in this stuff? This material cannot be compacted. It's impossible because it's so full of oxygen. And what's the first ingredient for life without which you die really quick? Oxygen. And when you till soil, remove all the life force, and you water and you walk on it, what happens to it? It compacts and pushes out all the oxygen. See, if you go in a tilled garden, you're not going to bounce. You'll be just, because there's no oxygen. All the oxygen has been removed, pushed out. I'm just telling you, it's so, when you look at it, it's so like, of course, obvious. What's up with that? It doesn't work. Water is a really essential ingredient. If you notice, again, the Creator is so orderly. What's your body 75% of? What's the earth 75% of? All my plants you're going to eat here in a moment are 75% water. I love the order. And can I tell you something interesting? I grew up in Los Angeles, California, which is a desert. It's very hot there, and there's no water. Back in the 50s when I was growing up, water bottles did not exist.
Yeah.
There was no such thing as a water bottle. And we're out working all day long, 100-degree temperature, and we're fine, we're hydrated. Because back then, plants were growing in soil, they had roots, and there was water in our food. And we're hydrated with the food we're eating. Today, in Seattle, where it rains a lot, people are drinking water with their meals because the food you buy has no water in it. Because the plants have no roots and they can't take up water. You buy an apple today, the thing's featherweight. It's totally like there's nothing in it. You see all my trees? If you looked at them closely, you've never in your life seen apple trees that look like that. Anywhere in the world. You know why the branches are all bent over?
Yes.
You can't prune a bend. They're bent over because the apples are so heavy with water minerals it bends the branches down. It's weight. I hand people an apple, their hand just drops. They can't believe how heavy it is because it's minerals and water, which are heavy. And see, all the stuff you buy in the store is totally lightweight because there's nothing in it.
You keep it through the winter.
I have an apple for breakfast every morning, and that's all I have all day long. I've eaten nothing since that. I'll go all day long with full energy because it's nutrient dense. Listen to me, when you have nutrient dense food, you don't need a lot. You don't need a lot. And this is why people are eating all the time now, because they're hungry. Because the body says, what you just fed wasn't food. That doesn't feed my cells. And you're always eating because you're hungry because the food isn't food. And your body's not stupid. When you eat nutrient dense stuff, I'm amazed how little I eat. How little I eat, because I don't need much because it's so potent with nutrients. It's so fun. I just give you an example. I grow these beets. We're gonna have you guys are gonna get to eat raw beets here. And you are going to blow your mind, literally, at how tender and sweet and good it is, raw. And so I'm growing these beets in my garden, so I picked one for dinner, and I thought I'd eat it. But the first night, I was full on the foliage, the greens, totally satisfied, like, I'm done. The next night, I cut it in two, and that was my meal. The third night, I finished the other half. It took me 3 nights to eat one beet. I got this long roll. I'm just telling you, man, it is so fun. The abundance, the overwhelming abundance that you have in this kind of environment, and the whole idea of shortage is completely unrealistic. when you have nutrients. It's impossible to have a shortage.